Hey Bowlers, back for another video. It's been a little while since we chatted about these little handhelds, huh? Well, one of my viewers, Greenslade Gaming, suggested that I do a versus between the Trimui Brick and the Miyoo Mini. What a fantastic idea. Thank you so much for that suggestion. Really appreciate it. So this is what we're doing today. You're giving me more work, but it's worth it. So today we're going to do a quick versus between the Miyoo Mini and the Trimui Brick. Both small devices, and we're gonna have a little fight between them, and we'll see who comes up on top. Let's get right to it. Roll the intro. Alright, first things first, let's start by saying that I got both these devices by Lit NXT. A big shout out to these guys. They're a supplier of these retro handhelds. They have free worldwide shipping, so check them out, and their service is pretty fast as well, so compared to other companies. So here we have the Trimui Brick. This one here, so I have the purple edition. This one here came in this box, nice box. You could actually change the back buttons here, but apart from that, instruction manual, not much in the box, but still a nice, beautiful box. And by the way, both these devices I reviewed on my channel, so make sure to check them out in the description below, or at the end I'm gonna have a link to them on screen as well. And the Miyoo Mini doesn't come in a box. It actually comes in this case. And what's cool about this case is it does include, so there's the charging cable, but there's also, it's really cool, there's this little dongle here that you could put your micro SD card and copy your games if you want to do that. So that's cool. And there's a case, keep that in mind. The other one has no case, so very convenient. I personally rather have a case than a box, but that's just me. So for the size difference, I mean, both very small devices, very small devices. I mean, if I take my hand here, give me an idea what it looks like. It fits in the palm of my hand, the Trimui Brick. But the Miyoo Mini, even smaller, right? So there's a little size comparison for you guys. We'll talk about the ergonomics a little later. Well, I got my scale here, so let's do a quick weigh-in. The Trimui comes at 109.9 grams. And the Trimui Brick comes at 158.6 grams. So if I'm doing my math correctly, that's almost like a 33% increase in weight. And you're thinking, well, how is that possible? It's not that much bigger. The build quality on the Trimui Brick is superior for sure, I'd say. I think the plastics are heavier. And the backplate here is metal. This is all metal, so when it's cold, you really feel it, and when it's warm, you feel it as well. Actually, if you play it for a long period of time, this actually gets warm. It's actually bothered some other streamers, other reviewers. Personally, I mean, I play like this, so my hand's never really touching the back plate. So, I mean, I feel it a bit, but I wouldn't say it's a deal breaker and not get the system because of that, right? Both systems cannot connect to TV or a monitor. They both do not support a Bluetooth controller, but the Trimui Brick has Wi-Fi, as the other one doesn't. So the Miyoo Mini has no Wi-Fi. The Miyoo Mini Plus has Wi-Fi, but not the Miyoo Mini, so keep that in mind. Let's talk about screen sizes. So the screen size on this guy is 2.8 inches on the Miyoo Mini, and on the Trimui Brick, the screen size is 3.2 inches. It's a significant difference, especially when you play. I definitely notice it, but I'm getting old too, so. They both have a 4.3 ratio. For you non-retro handheld enthusiasts out there, that's basically the same size as your CRT TV back in the 80s, right? Where you played your Nintendo, Atari, Genesis, Super Nintendo games. The screen resolution, both of them have a higher screen resolution than most of these devices, because most of these devices have a 640 by 480 resolution. But both of them have a higher resolution, which is quite crazy when you think about it. So the Miyoo Mini has a surprising 750 by 560 resolution. So on a small screen like that, let me tell you, the games look extremely crisp. They look really nice. Well, the Trimui Brick has a much higher resolution, believe it or not, 1024 by 768, which makes it an HD screen, which is crazy. So it's very crisp and the colors really pop on this one. I mean, I must say that for the quality of the screen, the Trimui Brick is superior than the Miyoo Mini, for sure. But the Miyoo Mini still, don't get me wrong, it still looks fantastic. And I'm not even sure if I could tell it with my own eyes. I mean, I'd have to do a Navy comparison. But they're both very good screens, but the Trimui Brick has a superior screen. The build quality, well, the Trimui feels nice. Nice little device. A little primitive though, I'd say. Nothing spectacular, but it does the job. It doesn't feel, the plastic is sort of like a matte finish, which is really nice. Actually, I really like it. The Trimui Brick has it feels like a premium handheld. Out of all the devices that I have, this one feels like it's for an adult. You guys know what I mean? Like it feels really, really nice. Really good. So let's talk about the D-pad and the buttons. For that, it's not even a competition. The D-pad on this feels second to none. It feels amazing. Even the buttons, they feel so nice and they really soft too. Like they, oh man, they feel amazing. The shoulder buttons, not as much. But let's be honest here. Something I forgot to mention. This guy here is going to play up to about the PlayStation 1. But this guy here is going to play DS. It's going to play PlayStation, PSP, Dreamcast, Nintendo 64. So this one here plays a little more. So you might be using more of the shoulder buttons. But these buttons here are not the best either, let me just say. But that's fine. I also forgot to mention this one has LED lights. As you can see here, you could actually close them. But this one doesn't. Well, that's one thing. This one here, there's also a button for there's a function button that you could turn on to increase the power of the CPU. So let's say if you're playing PSP or something a little more stronger, you definitely want to turn that on. Most of the time I won't turn it on though, so. Let's be honest, playing Nintendo 64, as you could tell, there's no joysticks, right? It's only a D-pad, so let's go back to this guy. So the D-pad on this one, it's a little more stiff, definitely more stiff, and the buttons are much more clicky. I mean, definitely clicky. On this one here, definitely softer. But they feel so much better. So for the buttons, it's not even a comparison. Miyoo Mini is where it's at. So let's talk about ergonomics and comfort for a second. You would think that the Trimui Brick, since it's bigger, it's going to be much more comfortable. Especially for someone like my size. I would say I have pretty big hands, for sure. Like I'm a 6'1" dude, not a small dude, big bone, you know, like Cartman. But honestly, this guy here feels so much more comfortable. Not sure if I'd say so much, but there's something about the grip. It just feels really nice. I mean, for the size, this is incredible that I could even play with this. And even the screen size, I mean, yes, it's a 2.8 inch screen, but I think the Game Boy, the OG Game Boy, was a 1.8 inch screen, and the screen quality was terrible. So this one here, because it's such a good screen quality, I could actually play it, especially if I have my reading glasses, no problem. No problem at all. I'm sure, obviously, if there's smaller text, it's going to be harder to read, right? But again, we're talking about ergonomics here. This one here, it feels good, but not as good, and I think it's probably because of the buttons. Like, they're more clicky, and I don't know, man. If I'm holding, it's also heavier too, and I'm feeling that. Oh yeah, oh my gosh, it's not, honestly, I would pick this guy over this guy for comfort level. For the sound, I mean, let's face it, they both sound pretty good. They both get fairly loud, but the Miyoo Mini only has one front firing speaker, so it doesn't go as loud. But the Trimui Brick, it's the only vertical device that I've seen that has stereo speakers. So you have stereo speakers right here, and it goes much louder, and the sound is much better. So screen size, not just the size, but the quality of the screen and the sound better on the Trimui Brick. For the comfort level, this one's better, and the buttons are better. So gosh, if you guys are on the fence about which one to get, I'm not helping you guys out at all here, eh? Let's talk about the OS that comes with it. So I got it from Lit NXT, and that's what I would suggest, because they both come, well, the ones I got anyways, a 256 SanDisk card, which is a really good card. And this one here had Onion OS, which is an amazing OS. But the Trimui Brick still comes with CrossMix OS. It's no slouch, man. It's really good as well. So both very, very good OSs. A lot of people would pick Onion OS, but I like both, to be honest. And if you want more, if you would like more information on that, again, I have reviews for both, and I go through that in my reviews for both systems. But I'd say a tie for the OS, to be honest, because they're both great. And if you order from Lit NXT, like I said, it comes with all the games preloaded, a bunch of systems, and even has hacks. Like, there's really cool hacks on here that are very cool that I've been playing, actually. So really neat. A ton of games. Either one you get, you're gonna have a ton of games, and you're gonna have hours to hours of gaming time with these. And for the price, I wish more people would get them. I would have, a month ago, a year ago, I didn't even know these guys existed. It's actually in April that I discovered the Miyoo Mini Plus. A year later, or almost 11 months later, I have like a whole bunch of these, and every day I play with at least one of them. Price-wise, you would assume that the Trimui Brick is much more expensive than the Miyoo Mini. But to be honest, there's a $10 difference on Lit NXT's homepage. So this one is only $10 more. So, verdict. If I could only pick one, it would be a very hard decision, because they're both excellent choices. But I would have to pick. Nope. I'd have to pick the Miyoo Mini. I could see why this device is still known as the king. Even 3 years later. Keep in mind, this is version 4 that I currently have, so there's been a lot of fixes. I think version 1, it was hard to find the screen, but now version 4, they fixed a lot of things. The screen size is perfect. Look at the quality of this. And the matte finish is really nice, and it just feels so good. They're both obviously very, very pocketable. I didn't mention that, but both could slide in your pocket easily, but this one here is even small. Can't go wrong with either systems. If you want something, if you care more about screen quality and sound, you might want to consider that one. But like I said, this one's no slouch. I mean, the screen looks still amazing on this. Let's not kid ourselves here. I really hope you guys enjoyed this review. It was a quick versus of both these systems. Love them both to death. So if you want to support the channel and encourage me, you can actually use one of the affiliate links below to get one of these 2 devices. There's a lot of options out there, a lot of color options as well that I have not gone through, but I'd probably go through that in my review. If you use code BOWLER10, you're going to save yourself a nice little 10% discount, which is pretty cool. Alright guys, thanks for checking out the review. And click on one of these 2 videos here, which is actually review videos for both these devices. And I'll see you in the next video. And keep in mind that I'm also a streamer, currently playing Chrono Trigger for the first time, and I'm loving it. So you don't want to miss my live stream on that. See you guys in the next one.